say a word, and we will give the floor to Mr. Chris to say a word.
As an American, and I'm learning about life in Togo and sharing that with my friends and family back home so that they can learn about this wonderful country that has been so great to me. So we're so thrilled that you're all here. I'm looking forward to hearing the presentation and learning more about Belgium, about the SUSI program. It's always so interesting for me as an American to hear others' experiences coming in and visiting. So welcome, and on behalf of American Corner, on behalf of Dr. Prosper Begadu, who's not here today, we welcome you over so thrilled. Thank you.
So thank you again for being here. As Amanda said, it's a holiday, and thank you for being here. I know the university is closed, but thank you all for being here and for your commitment to promoting English as a language in this beautiful country. So thank you again for being here, and welcome.
Might have less opportunities to travel. They might not enjoy arts education outside of school, but it is shown in scientific research that it's very important for the development of a child to actually get to enjoy arts and go to the theater and read books and go to the library. And so I wanted to answer these problems. I wanted to address these problems. Digital exchanges do is that they create cultural understanding. That's logical. We are working together. So this year we worked together with an American high school, the year before as well. But then 3 years ago we worked together with a Czech, a Slovakian, and a Greek teacher, and of course their students. And then 4 years ago we worked together with an Armenian and a Polish teacher. And so of course every time they interact with these other students, they get to understand the other culture more. It also creates mutual respect, because if you don't know anything about a culture, it's very easy to have prejudice. And that also helps them to develop self-knowledge, because once they start thinking like, okay, where is it that I get my information from? Is it actually trustworthy? You know, they can actually start thinking about the truth and compare their reality to the reality of the students in the other countries. Like, okay, this is something they value, but in Belgium, we don't find that important. Should I find it important? Do I find it important for myself? Or is it just something that, as a country, we should find important? So they get to learn more about themselves and others as well. This helps them to realize, like, okay, maybe I misunderstood, maybe this was a prejudice. And of course, as I mentioned before, it's an antidote against fake news. So let's dive into the project I did this year with the Big Sky High School in Missoula, Montana. So what we did, I worked together with a world geography teacher, Miss Sarah Strong, and she teaches world geography in 9th grade. And so she participated with 3 of her classes, and then I participated with 3 of my classes, got to speak to one another in this column. And then the ones about economy, this was therefore asked to speak. But of course, as you can see, everyone can actually access everything and could watch each other's videos. So let's dive into the different assignments. So the first phase was that each group had to make a video about their topic. So my Belgian students made a video about politics, economy, intellectual, and the American students did the same. And so I'm going to show you a video from a Belgian group talking about intellectual, so that means the educational system in Belgium. That also gives you a bit of information. And then I'm going to show you a video from an American group.
And we have which study program that we choose. We all 3 chose graphic design. It is like making sketches and doing it online. After we did it online, we make like a magazine, or also make designs to print on clothes. We can also make a website or something online, like an animation. We all chose it because we all like to draw and we enjoy doing it and we like to be creative. And also we have a lot of other programs doing at school. We have a lot of options. You can see that at the right side. We have electrician, mechanics, defense and safety. Defense and safety to your 5th year of being here. Then you have carpenter and interior design. Interior design is kind of like a track 2 in graphic design.
In America, no matter what town you're in, you always can find a church in distance to you, especially a Christian church. In the United States, there's around 200 to 235 million Christians.
You're going to be a cute, intelligent animal. Exciting. Already 6 people who are going to compete against each other. What do most Belgian teens do as a first job? Alright, so most of you were right. Most students start out when they want to start earning money in Belgium that they start working in a supermarket. Oh wow, it's happening. There's some real competition happening here. It's also about how fast you are, so you need to be right and fast. Now, how many people in Belgium are Catholics? It is not Coachella, you're right. It's Tomorrowland. That's how you see, now you're behaving like my students. I love it. Yes. It's Tomorrowland. That's our famous one.
This is the challenge. This is the real challenge.
I thought I had covered the challenges, but I asked my people.
Yeah, okay. In fact, we the teachers, we do have, like, because we used to project some videos, yeah, but the students don't have.
Okay. You can ask them, create a logo for this project on paper, and then you can take pictures. You can maybe, together with the other teacher, create a Padlet. You put it on there. I also post a lot of content on the Padlet. It's not always the students, and then you project it from your classroom. If, of course, you can project, maybe you have a printer at school, and you can print some stuff to show them. So that's also a way to go about it. The same with cartoonify yourself. Well, draw yourself. And maybe draw yourself in a creative way. Like, what is typical for you? What is it that you love? If you love singing, okay, maybe draw yourself as if you're singing karaoke. Do you like soccer? Okay, draw yourself playing soccer. So that's definitely something you can do as well. Presenting the country, instead of doing the videos, you can ask to make an infographic on paper. Like, okay, what is Togo known for? Okay, and then bring some newspapers and some magazines to class, let them cut, let them paste, and then you take the picture, and then you put it on the Padlet.
It depends upon the class she's teaching, like primary 5 and primary 6. If she really wants to practice this method, she can contact the parents. Those have iPhones at home, they can practice it, and I think it can work.
I wanted to know if the program, the curriculum that you have to teach, give you enough time to introduce, or if I can say to spend 3 weeks on something that is different.
I have to make sure that they interact in English. Check. They're talking to one another. It needs to be written and oral interaction. In this case, it's written interaction. The oral one I'll do at another time in my classes. What else? They have to use grammar. That's what it says in the curriculum. They have to use the grammar to have like a decent conversation. Check, because I taught them these tenses early on in the school year. It's January when we do this project, and they can actually use the vocabulary and the grammar that I've been teaching them in the project. So everything I do is a way for me to reach my goals in my curriculum. So I don't have to do the 3-week program, it's something completely else. And then I'm like, oh my God, and now I have to rush with whatever time I have left to reach the actual goals.
Our program here, our curriculum here is to help learners to express themselves, learn how to express themselves in English. So that's my question.
Yeah.
So is that meant to help learners to demonstrate their learning and knowledge?
A component that says that they have to learn about culture in English-speaking countries. So that's also, I want them to expand their knowledge on the US, because of course that is an English-speaking country. Yes.
Instead of teaching students like this about democracy in the USA, you can ask students from the US to talk to them about democracy in the USA. You can choose the topic of the environment. Environments, what are the environment issues in your country? And they will say it. So don't do something different from the curriculum. Thank you.
When I was in Karachi, Pakistan, in my last assignment, our cultural affairs officer, had done something similar. And he had connected a school in a little town from my state called Swisher, Iowa, with some students, access students in Karachi, Pakistan, which was a huge success. And then, they became friends. They were able to figure out what each other does, and understanding the other, right? Very similar to what you have. So what I'm trying to get at is, if you have interest in finding out a connection with a particular state in terms of a school or teacher or a place, what we can, just let us know. TETO, we can actually help you to find some connections. We can use our contacts, and that's how this whole thing works to a large extent. Now they went on the SUSI program, and that's how you got connected to the school in Montana. So similarly, if you have any ideas, just share them with us, and we'll try and figure out how we can help you.
I wonder if doing an exchange between different regions in Togo even is a good way to start. That someone who is here in Lomé and knows a teacher in the Savannah region, to do WhatsApp exchanges. Students can record videos, through the teacher can record videos, send it to their colleague, and exchange back and forth.
You've been so wonderful. This is fantastic. And thank you all for coming, the main thing. And thank you for all that you do for your students. Please continue to be connected with TETO, and I think being part of TETO is really, really a step in the right direction as far as creating these collaborations and connections are concerned. So,